This is awesome.
Oh, fuck. Hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest Talon mix.
Thanks, Pete.
I have a really bad idea, and I'm gonna open this up with here's my Dracula voice. Welcome to the Talon mix. Good to see you all among the living.
No, good to see you among the dead.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
I was going to say that. I was going to say, good to see you all among the dead. That's good. Perfect. Do it,
Great.
Brian. That's great.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Talon Mix. It's a Smallville recap podcast with me, Brian, and with Zach. This is our Halloween Spooktacular, wherein we did not watch an episode of Smallville this week. Instead, our annual tradition of watching a horror movie starring a cast member of Smallville, of which we are quickly running out.
Well, also, the terms horror and movie are both very relatively applied to, I guess I should say liberally applied to the movie we are watching this week, or we're talking about this week.
We watched Lake Placid 2, starring John Schneider, Johnny K himself, and I mean we'll get into it, but it's hard to follow up the fog, right? Of like what was that? 2007's The Fog, starring Tom Welling. The remake.
Wait, this is the same year? Is this the same year?
Is this the same year as The Fog?
Hold on, let me see. The Fog.
No, The Fog was 2005.
2005. Okay, so this is a Fog knockoff.
Right.
This is following in the footsteps of The Fog.
It's like on every level. So The Fog is one of the worst movies I've maybe ever seen, in a truly like dead, like this is a truly pulling teeth to watch kind of way.
Right.
Just pulling out an example of like the worst movie ever made, The Room, comes up frequently. The Room has brought me so much joy over like screenings that like you clearly can't not call it art. The Fog might actually not be art.
Right. I think the reason The Fog is worse than a movie like The Room or even Lake Placid 2 is that it is a movie. It is a Hollywood production, and there is enough competence that
Right.
you aren't going to give it any slack. And it's not bad in fun ways. It's bad in bad ways.
Right. It's like the cast isn't like, what were you thinking bad? It's not, it's cheap. It's cheap, but like you could have used that amount of money to make a good movie. Like if there was any desire to do that, here's the thing about The Fog. Hearing us talk about The Fog wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, like, don't get me started on The fucking Fog.
Lake Placid 2's kind of the same thing, but I would say it's slightly more watchable for a while.
Yeah, the first half is...
It's a long 88 minutes.
I was going to say, it's a slog. I mean, like, this movie has no business being 88 minutes long. And I wonder if it was that long on TV or if they just added stuff for the DVD release or whatever.
That's true. We both watched it on Crackle, correct?
Yeah.
It's available for free on Crackle with ads roughly every 6 minutes.
The same ads.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know if this was what aired on the Sci-Fi Channel or if this is the unrated, like, DVD cut.
Yeah, right. Yes. I imagine it is. But the thing we should go over, and I guess we can wait to do this, but I was just going to say we should clarify that this is a made-for Sci-Fi Channel movie. And for those of you, the younger members of our audience, the mid-aughts to like the 2015 Sci-Fi Channel made-for-TV movie is basically the genre equivalent of a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yes.
Right. So the people in it know it's bad. The people watching it know it's bad. Everyone knows it's bad. It was never trying to be good.
Right. Everyone's just getting in, getting out, getting paid.
Right, yes.
Speaking of, I do want to write a Hallmark Christmas movie involving, I don't have all the pieces, but I know it involves a hunky reindeer rescue like owner. He owns a reindeer rescue, even though he's grumpy about Christmas, but he might actually be Santa Claus.
Hold on, sorry, that's perfect. I started laughing though. He's grumpy about Christmas.
He's grumpy about Christmas, and he might be Santa Claus.
Oh, see. Oh,
and also, I think it's played by Chris Messina.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think before that, you might be able to make a big budget Hollywood movie out of that. You know,
No,
Will
I think it's
Ferrell
Hallmark.
or someone in there. Yeah.
But that's my dream. That's the only thing I want, and then I can die after I've written that.
The Channing Tatum version of that is a hit.
Hopefully. But we're not talking about Christmas, Zach. We're talking about Halloween.
Yes.
We're gonna head over. Says that said, Christmas spooky holiday underrated.
Yes, it is. Some of the music is a little haunting. You know, there's ghosts.
Right. I mean, it makes sense of like Christmas makes sense of it was just part of a dark, cold time of the year.
Right.
Yeah. It's even part of the it's the most wonderful time of the year. The song, and there is a line about telling ghost stories.
Yeah, and I've always been like, "What? Who's telling ghost stories at fucking Christmas?" But I guess it happens.
I think that was a popular like British thing, and maybe
Really?
still is. Of like ghost stories and Christmas are intertwined. I think A Christmas Carol is a ghost story.
Right, that's the only one I can think of, though. I don't know that.
I watched you remember Tales from the Crypt?
Oh yeah,
There is a unrelated to the television show, but still based on the same Tales from the Crypt EC comics. There is a British Tales from the Crypt movie, which is just an anthology movie. It's not very good, but one of the stories is set at Christmas.
Oh no, that I've seen that. That's horrifying.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me say, we might be make sure we're talking about the same thing, where the lady kills her husband.
Yep, you got it.
Then, what is the setup? She kills her husband, and then there's a deranged, escaped, like mental patient who is dressed as Santa, going around killing people. Who shows up outside her house, and she can't call the cops because she just killed her husband.
Right.
And so she has to try to fend off
Right.
the Santa Claus. And spoiler alert. I believe her son lets him in at the end.
That is exactly it. I remembered it as you were saying it. It's there's some fun. Actually, I was going to be down on Tales from the Crypt. It's not the Crypt Keeper is just a guy in a robe rather than that phenomenal puppet from the HBO series. But it's there's a couple of fun stories in that movie. Not all bangers, but a couple of highlights. Zach, I asked this on my other show earlier today, but I think it's a good question. Do you have any like memorable Halloween costumes from like your childhood?
Oh man, I was just looking at my mom's today. We were looking at me as Batman when I was like 7.
Oh hell yeah, we definitely had a Batman. We had a I wanted Robin for some reason. I was all in on Robin.
That's amazing. Why?
I was kind of just like that. Whatever the default was, I kind of wanted the other one.
Oh, that's cool.
Batman was the default, so I wanted Robin.
Or were you just being more realistic? Like, I could never be Batman.
Well, my brother was Batman, so it still like worked out. But like, I remember my brother Patrick's been on the show before. Patrick always had the Batman PJs. I had the Robin ones. I don't know what that was about, but
Aren't you older?
I am older, right?
Wow.
But like I said, if there was the default one, I always wanted the not default one.
My older brother never would have pulled that shit. He fucking any video game, Mario Kart, he was always Mario. You could not be Mario.
That's the exact
We
thing.
played
I didn't want Mario. I
GoldenEye.
wanted Luigi.
We played GoldenEye. He was James Bond, no matter what. He would get mad and accuse you of cheating if you took his guy.
Oh, I see. that totally checks out.
Yeah, I was Yoshi in Mario Kart, I believe. Dinosaur, come on.
Yeah, I get it. Let's see. Any other Batman?
Costumes. Let's see. I was Ninja Turtles. I was Batman. I was.
What was the
Indiana
Ninja
Jones.
Turtle costume? Was there a mask?
It was probably Michelangelo.
You know what was the layout of the costume?
I'm trying to remember. I'm sure it was probably more than 1 year, but 1 year I did have a mask, a rubber mask. God, that might have been Leonardo. I can't remember, but Ninja Turtle, Batman, Indiana Jones. I remember.
Oh, good, great kid costume.
Yes, I have a better memory of like high school costume. I did. Me and my buddy went as Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm. I was Ian
that's
Malcolm,
fun.
obviously. Yeah, and then we just quoted it like all day at school, like idiots. How about you?
I've told this story before. I do remember 1 year my mom like made a mummy costume, like stitched together. I don't know exactly how she put it together, but like actually like made a mummy costume that was pretty legit, and I did not appreciate it to the level that I probably should have.
Oh.
I don't think I was like specifically like a little shit about it, but I do know that I would have been just as happy or happier going to like Party City and picking something out. Like,
right.
Not fully appreciating the craft and love that went into like making a costume. I remember Power Rangers. I know you were a little old for Power Rangers. I remember it bothering me that it was a mask. It was like a plastic mask, but of course it didn't go all the way over the head. It was just the front part of the mask, and then
the half.
Right. That bothered me because that, of course, was not accurate. And then I hated that the essentially like pajama set that came with it. The Power Rangers wore gloves. This didn't have gloves, so your bare ass fucking hands are sticking. I'm like, what the fuck is this? That said, the Power Rangers costume got a lot of play in the just the following year. That was on half the time. Trying to think of other good ones.
It's crazy. I think it was probably. I can't remember because I think I was Batman probably like 3 times.
Sure.
And I think I was a Ninja Turtle more than once. So
I was definitely something different for like men. I don't think I ever like double dipped or repeated costumes. But I am.
Well, let me clarify. It was a different Batman costume.
Got it.
1 year I got the super badass rubber Batman like replica that Val Kilmer had in the Batman Forever movie.
It.
And of course I assumed wearing it I would look like the real Batman.
Of course.
But I was tiny and it was an adult mask.
Did you even check? Did you even clock it as a kid? Like, oh, I don't look like Val Kilmer.
I think so. Yeah. I still have that mask here. I could literally pull it out right now, but no one can see.
No one can see this.
No.
Wow. That is pretty show accurate, Zach. Wow.
Yeah.
Is Val Kilmer here?
I mean, I just put on a bunch of eye makeup, that eye black that they wear.
Was Matt Reeves's The Batman the first one to acknowledge that he puts on the eye makeup? Like he takes off the mask and he's wearing the eye makeup?
Yep. I actually like that.
I do too. Why can't the little freak put the eye makeup on?
Right, yeah. I love in Batman Returns when
that's the most obvious one.
Michael Keaton tears off the mask and he's not wearing any eye makeup.
Well, there's one in the tearing off the mask. There is a clear shot where he has the mask on, but not the makeup.
Right, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You have to know how that looked. You know how that looked. Why did you do that?
It was 1992. Men could not wear makeup.
I guess not. Or just shoot it from the back.
Yeah.
And then get that rip off. And then, come on, Tim. Come
I
on,
mean,
Tim.
The Christian Bale one doesn't address it either.
Yeah, he doesn't take it off on like in a single continuous shot.
No,
but
he does put that costume on in a hurry a few times. Like,
right.
Like
right.
when the Joker in The Dark Knight takes over that party, he's dressed as Bruce Wayne and he comes out as Batman like 30 seconds later. So
right.
He's just in the bathroom like, come on.
Right. I guess that's maybe why they don't acknowledge it. Right?
Right.
Of like, because then suddenly that means he's put it on. Affleck, did they ever do anything with that? I have erased those movies. Those movies have erased themselves from my brain.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't care.
I always love you ever see pictures of costumes from like the 60s and 70s where it's like essentially like a smock where it says the name of the thing you are on it? So it'd be I remember this picture of my dad and my uncles and my aunt as kids in Halloween costumes. My uncle's in a quote unquote King Kong costume, and it's a monkey mask. The mask is like King Kong, and then on the outfit is King Kong on the Empire State Building, and it says King Kong.
Oh, that's no good.
And I feel like that was a very popular version of like store-bought costumes. That was extremely common. There is a Simpsons bit where I don't know when this is. I just saw the screenshots. I don't even think I've seen the episode. But Lisa says, or Milhouse is wearing a Radioactive Man costume like that. And Lisa says, I don't think the real Radioactive Man wears a plastic smock with a picture of himself on it. To which Milhouse lifts up his mask and it's like, he would on Halloween.
Oh, what a great fucking show that was.
Great fucking show. But yeah, that one always baffled me. Trying to think, what are some other fun Halloween things?
Oh, well, before we do that, we just mentioned Ben Affleck Batman, and we have to take a quick detour. I'm sorry. I know.
I think I know what you.
Well, so DC is going through this upheaval right now.
Mm-hmm.
They just put James Gunn in charge.
Which, man, I like James Gunn. I liked the Suicide Squad, I think, more than you did, and I didn't love it. I just had fun with it. I'd rather see him do anything else.
Well, also, why are they? They're just doing the Zack Snyder mistake all over again. Why are you putting a director in charge of? That's like a different skill set.
Right. Definitely.
I don't get that. But what I was going to bring up is it now with the new Black Adam movie came out. And I guess Henry Cavill's in it as Superman. Like, are we doubling down on the fucking Snyderverse now? I thought we were all in agreement. It was time to move on. He got his release of Justice League, and I was like, good. Now we can turn the page, and we've got the new Batman movie coming out. It seems like we're doubling down on it.
Well,
Brian.
I guess the issue we find ourselves in is the Aquaman franchise is still successful. The Wonder Woman franchise is still successful. Like, we don't want to I don't think 84 was very good, but I didn't see it. But people liked those movies. The first Wonder Woman I really liked. I liked Aquaman, and that sequel's coming. I assume another Wonder Woman thing is coming. So we can't ditch those. But we've got this other Batman thing. We've got a completely unrelated Joker thing. I think The Flash is supposed to be the crux point where we're like, it's a multiverse.
Right. And they need that movie to come out soon. Okay.
Yeah. Did you see Ezra Miller's looking at fucking 26 years in jail?
Oh, is he?
I
know he was in trouble. 26 years.
Yep. Yeah. That, if I read that correctly, yeah.
Oh. Well, it seemed, well, the strategy, that was the strategy. It was like they were going to do a Flash movie and it was going to be a multiverse, and then so we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
But now the new people are taking over, and I wonder, is that still the plan? Because it seems like they're just going all in on Snyderverse.
I don't know. I kind of don't mind, like, I really enjoyed Matt Reeves' Batman. As he talks about. I'm kind of okay with that just being its own thing.
For sure. I don't need them to be intertwined.
Right. Similarly, I did not like Joker, so I know they're going to keep going with that. So I'm glad it's kind of its own thing that isn't meddled in with anything else. It's just do whatever you want, Todd.
Make a musical with Lady Gaga.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, I really feel like that's going to not flop, but that's not going to be successful like Joker was.
I can't imagine. That said, I'm okay with, like, I hated all of the movies that Henry Cavill has been Superman in, but I don't necessarily have a problem with Henry Cavill as Superman. This is as relevant as we can get. So, like, I'm okay with, like, I'm Henry Cavill, I'm still Superman. Hey, what about what happened in those other movies? Huh? What? Can't hear you. No.
Right. That I would be fine with that, but then you have to take all the baggage with you because you have to take Lois Lane,
right?
And you have to. Look, he never got a fair shot to play Superman. Like, the closest he came was in the Joss Whedon Justice League. They let him have fun for 5 minutes. It was like, oh, this could have been cool,
right? And even then, he's got a weird fucking face in it because they had to CGI his fucking mustache. What's wrong with his face?
Like, I guess I'm okay if the plan is just keep all the same actors. I guess take it or leave it being in the same universe, but we're gonna make it good from here on out. Right. We're gonna make them enjoyable.
X-Men got away with, like, absolutely not giving fuck about its continuity.
I don't think they would be able to do that today, though. It was like that was the beginning of this what we're in now, and it kind of went through a few iterations. I don't know if you could get away with that.
That said, in they like X-Men was such a fucking mess, and now I've really just come to respect how little they gave a fuck of So Logan and one of the X-Men, like, prequel movies, not something after the Bryan Singer Days of Future Past one. They introduced the same mutant, the same character. He's in Logan, completely different actor, but it's that character.
Right, yeah.
And then he's also in the prequel thing with a completely different, like, that would never fly now. It barely flied then.
No, not with Disney doing their thing.
Right.
But that's kind of like comics, though, right? I mean, that's like... Yeah,
definitely.
It's like the same characters pop up sometimes, different artists, different interpretations.
Right.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. It's all fucking baby shit. Who cares? It's literally baby shit.
Anyway, I thought that was really scary that DC is embracing the Snyderverse, and I thought, since it's a Halloween episode, we could talk about scary things.
It's, and Superman coming up is obviously pretty good. That Black Adam movie is apparently terrible.
I couldn't even get through the trailer. I don't know. It just looks like
I haven't even watched it. I just, like, what from, like, top to bottom, what could I possibly give a shit about? Like, what?
Brian, it's probably unrealistic, but I'm hoping that we're nearing an end of the comic book dominated era.
Can you go back to 2007 and imagine just being like these fucking superhero bullshit?
And that was a thing. That was definitely, they were like, we're overloaded with superhero stuff. Spider-Man 3, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, oh man, we run this shit into the ground, huh?
How many more of these?
Oh man, and here we are. Here we fucking are. We didn't even know. We knew nothing.
Well, the problem is the next year, fucking Dark Knight and Iron Man come out.
We had no fucking idea.
And the Dark Knight, great fucking movie that we both love. But they went ahead and learned all the wrong lessons from that fucking thing.
Oh, by the way, these movies are no fun anymore. This is a no fun. I'm sorry. Do you fucking like this child character who is on pajamas at Target?
But they didn't realize that
Dark Knight's a fun movie.
It's fucking fun as fuck. That's why it's so successful. It's really fucking fun.
It's in the.
It takes its shit seriously,
right?
But it's fun as fuck.
But it also has a bit where Batman's on his fucking little motorcycle thing, and then it goes up a wall and it flips around, and then he has a cool pose shot, and everyone in the theater goes, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, and then the semi-truck flips over.
Right.
It also has a scene where the Joker slams someone's face through a number 2 pencil.
While being like, oh man, shocking Batman, that's a Batman movie. Whoa. It was also fun. It was fun. It was a fun movie.
Right.
It was a big blockbuster.
Where like you didn't see any gore. It was really more implied.
Right.
No one is like rushing over to see if that guy's okay either. It's just like it's done. I still don't understand the physics of how that works, but super fun movie. And then they went ahead and tried to make all these super serious, not fun DC movies. And then Marvel, I don't say they didn't learn the wrong lessons from Iron Man because they obviously
made a lot of money,
huge run of success and a lot of fun movies.
Right. Man, even Dark Knight Rises didn't like stick to like let's be super serious. That is not a super gritty, serious movie at all.
No, I think it's a really fun movie. I love the Dark Knight.
I think a lot of people's complaints are just like, oh, you kind of hate fun.
Right, yeah. Well, I think it upsets the people who take the Dark Knight super seriously because they're like, this is comic book silly shit. And I'm like, yeah. Like, if you don't enjoy Tom Hardy as Bane, I'm not even talking ironically. If you don't actually just enjoy that, then I don't know what to say.
100%.
I don't know what to tell
100%.
You're not watching the movie right.
Seriously. I think even just this big, broad, like Gotham City on its own, all the cops are...
Right.
All the cops are crapping at the stadium. Like that is like Batman Adam West 1966 shit, and I love it.
For sure. I love his they're like, what a great decision. There's a mysterious gang somewhere in the sewers. So let's send every single cop in the city underground at the same time.
Not a single
a city notorious for its crime.
The overtime. No one's just off that day. You don't have a bunch of people like does the police? I mean, fuck police unions. Don't get me wrong, but like no one was like, no, you can't. No.
Can you fit that
time and a half?
And like they're going into the sewer in just their normal clothes. The sewers is disgusting, Brian. Also, it's got to be dangerous. Like, wouldn't you want some plumbers down there with you too? I just feel like
look, there's a lot of shit that they got to take care of that they did not think ahead, but that's okay. It's a dumb comic book movie.
Or what about have every cop in the city guarding entrance to the sewer, like a manhole cover?
Here's the thing: Jim Gordon not very good at this.
Yeah. He was in the hospital at the time, so maybe he was on some kind of painkillers. They probably shouldn't have been listening to him.
Gotta say, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but we were talking about Robin earlier. Batman, Halloween, it's the same thing. It all. I want to see Robin. I think the Matt Reeves universe, for lack of a better word, I think it's comic booky enough that like. I want to see Robin. I want to see him take another crack at Robin.
I've always wanted to. I wanted to see it in the Nolan verse too, and not the Robin that we got. But I wanted to see. You can make a good movie. Obviously, you don't have him be like sidekick necessarily, but have Bruce Wayne adopt an orphan. There's good shit there.
Right. It's Patrick Willems has a great video essay on it, and like it really breaks it down as Batman as a character. It's arguably like Bruce Wayne becomes a father is like. One of the most is arguably the most important part of Batman. And the movies just don't do it.
Is it all because Batman and Robin is so reviled, that movie?
I do think I think for a little while it's been perceived as very silly and feeling silly.
Yeah, and there's also the homoerotic thing
Right,
that,
right.
like
Which,
you don't
sorry
have to
everybody,
go that
Batman's
route, though.
gay.
Yeah, you don't have to go that route though. You
Right,
can just have
right.
it be like a father-son thing instead
Right.
of a he
I
has a college boy who's just like
um
wearing skin tight.
but I think the Matt Reeves stuff, I would like to see it. I think that would be interesting.
I think they should too. I mean,
I
yeah,
think there's a way to make it. I think you can make it work.
well,
And
just that the Robin origin is a really good story. They did it really well in the animated series.
yes,
They did like a truncated version in Batman Forever that was fine, but I feel like they could really do that justice in a movie.
agreed.
And so, all right, so let's call Matt Reeves. Hold on,
Great.
let me get my phone.
Matt, Robin.
Matt,
I don't want
yeah.
the Joker again. I want Robin.
No, especially not after seeing that deleted scene.
I know.
Or
I know. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's see. I didn't really watch anything this week. We kind of got to get. Well, I did watch something this week.
I'll give you a couple quick things I watched.
I have a quick one too. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead. Oh, you want me to do?
I watched a little romantic comedy called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right, we talked about this.
The original
Right.
from the 70s. Yeah, this is why I could never be a film critic, because what star rating could you possibly give a movie like that? Like, it's 5 out of 5 stars as far as technique and filmmaking. Like, if you want to be horrified, that movie will fucking horrify you.
Right. It certainly does what it intended to do.
Right. But I didn't enjoy watching it. I wasn't like happy. I mean, there was a lot of parts where I was impressed, and then where I was like, oh, that's fucking scary. That is horrifying. But pretty miserable experience.
Right.
It's
Right. I haven't revisited it in a while. I may this weekend, but I'll talk more about that at the end of the show. For Stream a Week.
And then the second thing I watched, I actually technically haven't finished it. I have about 5 minutes left. It's taken me 4 sittings to get through it. Is a movie called Dominion, prequel to The Exorcist.
Ooh, haven't seen it, but
Okay.
I believe I remember it playing. Is it 2006?
So, do you know the story about the prequel to The Exorcist?
I know there is a story, and you're going to say it. I'm going to remember it.
Yeah. So, a filmmaker named John Frankenheimer, who's an action director from the 70s, 80s, 90s, I think 60s too, was going to make this movie, prequel to The Exorcist, about Father Merrin encountering the demon in Egypt.
Right.
I think Egypt. Anyway.
Iraq.
He died shortly before production. So they're like, we need someone to make this movie. So they went to Paul Schrader because he's Catholic. He's the filmmaker. So he directs a movie. He films the entire movie, finishes filming it, edits it, and the studio's like, this is not fucking scary at all.
Oh boy.
At all. And I just watched it, Brian. It doesn't even make an attempt to be scary.
Ooh. Oof.
Like, really. And so they're like, we can't do this. So they, with basically the same cast, it might be the same sets. I haven't seen the other one. I'm going to watch it next.
Right.
They get Rennie Harlan to come in and reshoot the entire fucking movie.
Holy shit.
It's like more than Solo. It's the entire movie. So that version comes out, Exorcist the Beginning, the Rennie Harlan version. And I haven't seen it, but it gets really bad reviews, doesn't do very well. But Paul Schrader, in his contract, has that they have to release his cut in a theater, I think.
Wow.
So it's like a year or two later, they release his cut in like a theater or two in LA, and then it comes out on DVD. So this one I'm almost done with. It's not terrible, but it's not scary. And now I'm going to watch the Rennie Harlan one, and I'm just what a weird
experiment.
It would be like if we got to see the Lord Miller solo cut.
Which, man, it had to happen. Like, this story had to be happening on the Exorcist prequel that no one asked for. Man, I want to see this on. Give us Solo.
Yeah. Yes.
I had to get 2 of a movie I didn't want.
Well, like, you'd think if you were gonna if you were like, we gotta shoot this movie again and we gotta make it scary, maybe hire a horror director.
You'd think.
Like Rennie Harlan, I think maybe he directed one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Oh boy.
But he's mostly an action director. Let's see, what did he do? He did Die Hard 2, Cliffhanger, Deep Blue Sea, Cutthroat Island. Okay, so he did A Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Oh boy! Oh, the best one.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's like, I mean, I think there is a thing where when you're in a position like that, you're like, who can film a movie?
Oh, you're right. Just
who knows how to direct a movie that we can get right now
on budget and on time. That's
exactly. Yeah.
Is that what you watched?
That's it. Yeah.
This is not a movie. Netflix has released their reboot of The Mole, which was an ABC, I believe, reality show, kind of adventure reality, kind of similar to like Survivor in that sort of genre. You got a group of people. They're all trying to win challenges, which adds money to this pot. Have there be one remaining at the end who then wins the pot. The problem is that one of the contestants is actually a producer plant who is working against the rest of the group, trying to prevent them from winning money. And it's a fun, like, hey, did that person screw up? Like this.
Does the audience know who the mole is?
You do not. Okay. So you're kind of guessing for everybody, like, hey, did that person screw up that physical challenge because they were bad at it, or were they intentionally trying? And everyone's kind of second guessing everybody, and they put them in increasingly more difficult positions, like choose who does this important part of the thing. Very effective lunchtime TV of like, turn your brain off. I don't want to think too hard. Fun. Right. Fun locations, a fun cast of contestants, a very enjoyable show. Quite liked it. It's on Netflix. What I want to complain about is this is not unique to The Mole. This is a larger trend in streaming television, especially streaming reality television. Using Survivor as an example, the OG, the granddaddy of reality competition shows, has a very clean, we do some island drama trying to figure out who's going to get eliminated, we do a couple of physical challenges, someone gets eliminated, boom, you just had a nice 40 minutes, you ate your lunch, you can go do something else. Nice satisfying hour of television. See you next week. Or, you know, hey, if you're watching it later, here, watch the next one, but you watch the next one because it's good TV. What something like the Mole does is they get like, someone's gonna get eliminated. Boom, credits. So now it's there's no episode structure, or the episode structure is much looser because what Netflix wants you to do is immediately just get you to watch the next one. Or you watch 2, 3 in a row. So then it turns into like, all right, well, let me just see who gets eliminated. And then they've already kicked you and they kind of got you into the next one. And I know what's happening and that shit still works on me. I don't want it to, but, and it's annoying because sometimes what happens is just a nice, I feel like such an old fucking asshole, but what happens is just a nice hour of TV.
Well, not with the Netflix model.
No, it's because it's all designed to just keep you in front of your TV passively fucking consuming. And like, if the show is good, I'll keep watching it. You don't have to like try and trick me.
You don't have to trick me. Yeah. Just make it good. I mean, although, you know, like a show like Lost, every episode ended on a cliffhanger.
Well, at least it's like structured for that. And like Lost
But
still
also, they did tell a complete story in the episode.
Lost is
and then there was
very
a cliffhanger.
episodic television. Just there were larger mysteries that,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
It wasn't, there's compelling stuff, and then there's, you're trying to trick me, essentially.
Right. Usually it was like, the cliffhanger was like basically what the next episode was going to be about.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is not unique to the Mole. Love is Blind does this. They're all doing it right now. And I think it's dark and I don't like it. I think it's okay to turn off your TV sometimes.
Yes. Oh, speaking of frustration with this crackle, when I got to the last 60 seconds of Lake Placid and the thing like starting next popped up before the
that happened to me
ended.
too. Yep. Yeah. You're exactly right.
Well, I think Crackle's probably betting that most people who are watching Lake Placid 2 have tuned out at that point.
But that happens on a lot of, if not like that literally, but like it'll start loading up the next thing while I'm watching the credits. I watch the fucking credits.
Well, especially like Halloween season, I'm watching all these John Carpenter movies or spooky movies. Usually like those movies leave you with a feeling and a mood as the music comes in. And you're like, I want to sit with this for a minute in the credits. That's
the thing. The credits are a like second to like decompress from the thing you just watched. I don't want to just be mindlessly launched into another thing. I'm not passively consuming shit.
No, or a trailer for some true crime thing or some shit.
It's a stop.
Yeah.
That's the true horror, guys. It's just algorithmically turning us into fucking zombies. I don't like it. I think it's really bad.
It is. Yeah. This is breaking news, folks. You heard it here. Hot take. Algorithms.
Bad. Also,
bad.
I don't know if you agree with this. I watch the fucking intros to TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
Skip intro? Get that button out of here. I want to watch the fucking intro to the TV show.
Yeah. Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Absolutely.
That's part of it.
It's absolutely.
Also, in general, bring back intros, but like, hey, sit down. You're going to watch your TV show. All right, my TV show's on. That's the song.
I mean, how many great opening theme songs would we be starved of if we didn't have credits in our lives?
Seriously. What? No, you watch the fucking... I was at my in-laws, and we threw on the previous night's SNL, and my father-in-law starts fast-forwarding through the musical act. I was like, no, you sit down, you put SNL on, you watch the whole fucking thing.
The musical act's an important part of
you watch the fucking SNL. You don't skip the fucking musical act. You watch the fucking musical act.
Also, if you don't watch it now, you're never going to be able to see that musical act again.
Truly, yeah. Something fucking weird happened. It's gone.
Yeah.
You watch it. That's also like you're not watching SNL because it's great fucking TV. You watch it.
Yeah, I agree. Agreed. Kids these days. Good thing we're not doing this one with an audience. They would be like, these old fucking guys.
Should we get into this fucking movie, dude?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm okay that we went kind of long.
Let's talk more about Halloween stuff. What?
Oh boy. Okay, I'm on the Wikipedia here for Lake Placid 2. That's primarily what's going to be helping us out here because oh man, this movie went in one fucking eyeball and out the fucking other.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's take a break. And we are back. We've been putting it off long enough. Time to talk about Lake Placid 2, starring, of course, Johnny K himself, John Schneider, who is the man who did this to us. He did this to us.
You know what's interesting, Brian, is last week we were talking about Freddy versus Jason, and you said that movie was directed by the year 2003. This movie came out in 2007, but also was directed by the year 2003.
Yes, I'm shocked, gobsmacked that this was from 2007. Like, no fucking way.
No, yeah. So Johnny K was off the show by then.
Wow.
He had been off by a year. That's probably why he did this fucking movie.
Right.
He's like, I need some money.
So I'm right here on the Wikipedia page. I'm going to be reading directly from this. But Lake Placid 2 is a 2007 made-for-television comedy horror film. Ooh, that is generous. Honestly, on both counts.
Wait, should we prep the audience by talking about Lake Placid?
I guess we should. That is a great idea. It is the next sentence here is it's a sequel to 1999's Lake Placid, which is a movie starring Bill Pullman, written by David E. Kelly, directed by Steve Miner. What's that?
Bridget Fonda's in
right,
it.
Betty White.
Gleason.
Brendan
Gleason is in it. Oliver Platt.
Right. I saw the movie. I remember renting it. I was in like 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, whatever 1999 was. And I remember liking it, but never thinking about it again because I'm a middle schooler, like, you know, and it's got an alligator. I don't know. My dad liked it, and end of story.
No, I saw it in the theater with my dad, and he also really liked it, and I liked it. The thing is, it's a dumb monster movie. It knows it's a dumb monster movie, but it's written by David E. Kelly, who was, he did The Practice and Ally McBeal at the time. He was a very hot TV writer. So the dialogue is very witty and like quick back and forth, and the actors are all really good. So a lot of those jokes really land, and it's fun. And that is the tone that they really applied to this sequel.
Got it.
Sarcasm.
I will say Lake Placid, it's the original film, has mixed reviews. Roger Ebert really didn't like it, but has some people who did. Andrew Collins of Empire gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's got a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, so almost 50-50.
It wasn't a hit either commercially or critically, but I do believe it's gained somewhat of a cult following. It was like probably a DVD hit.
Yeah, watching Lake Placid too, I was sitting there like, I bet the first one's okay.
Yeah, no, the first one is fun. It's like a B-. It's like a fun movie.
It is weird that like it's a 1999 movie, and we go to the straight television sequel starring John Schneider in 2007.
Well, I don't think anyone ever thought there was going to be a sequel, and it was just Sci-Fi Channel started pumping out movies of the week or whatever, and then they're like, hey, can we have the rights to Lake Placid? And someone was like, sure.
Why not just make it fucking Bad Alligator? Bad Gator.
I bet Lake Placid 2 drew in a few more eyeballs than
you're probably right.
Than Country Alligator or whatever the fuck.
Especially if the first movie sold well on DVD, that was probably also a thought of like,
yeah.
So let's see. The second installment in the Lake Placid series, telling the story of man-eating crocodiles who terrorize the local community. The film premiered on April 28th, 2007 on the Sci-Fi Channel, which is not it is not yet Sci-Fi SYFY, which I've always thought was the worst fucking name change in.
But they have to include the fantasy, Brian.
Oh, is that the purpose of that?
Yes. So we were probably hanging out when this movie premiered. Like, chances are you and I were hanging out. Like, we just finished spring break.
Wow. Fuck it. I can't believe we didn't watch it.
Because my birthday was the week before, and I was back home for spring break. And then, honestly, you and I could have written this at that point in time.
That is something we could have done. We missed an opportunity. All right, I'm going to dive into this plot summary. The plot summary here is pretty short. So we're going to be going over a lot of broad points, but I assume we can fill in the gaps with things
I have like 4 pages of notes.
Right.
So.
Okay. So we're going to be using this mostly as a guidepost to comment on. Researchers Frank Mills and Tillman are exploring the lake on a rubber tube raft. Right here, I immediately notice something strange.
It's my third note, I think, on the page here.
What are notes 1 and 2?
First note is the opening credits. You get the Sony logo and then the Fox logo, and I was like, yeah, this was a team up.
Yeah.
This was a co-production. And then I noted that they have the the Jaws shot under the water.
Yes.
They really, and then I noted that I am watching this on a small screen the way it was meant to be seen, because I was watching it on my laptop
Yeah.
when I have a giant TV, but I just watched it on my laptop.
I also just watched it on my laptop. I don't know why. I could have.
It wasn't meant to be watched that way, Brian. It wasn't meant to be watched on a big screen.
You know, it's like my wife usually works out in the living room and like watches TV. I am either here in the office where I'm recording now, or I will just stay in the bedroom. But I was like, I was gonna go set up in the bedroom and like watch it on our bedroom TV, and then I was like, fine, I'll just watch it here.
Yeah, no, yeah. Don't sully your TV with that.
Seriously. Honestly, I think I was too lazy to download the Crackle app onto my TV. But would you like to say what your third note is here in regards to this opening?
My third note is this ADR ? Exclamation point, question mark.
It sounds immediately out the gate. It does not sound like two men on a raft. It sounds like two men hours apart in a recording studio.
And also, it kind of sounds like the two men in the recording studio aren't the same as the two men.
I also thought that. So I'm having this thought of like, this is weird. We should know. I thought, oh man, something must have happened this day, this shot. They might be changing something. The whole movie's ADR'd. There is not a line of like on-set dialogue in this movie. Is full Italian. Like,
yeah, I wonder if the actors that aren't like people we know are like Bulgarian people.
You're right. This was shot in Bulgaria, Romania in 2006. God,
did they do the? Oh, speaking of Halloween, Romania.
Right. Here we go. It's if you watch Italian movies, especially like Italian horror, a lot of most Italian movies up until probably the late 80s are dubbed or ADR'd, even in their original Italian. And that is because Italy did I forget the city that is kind of their like central hub of filmmaking, but doesn't have sound stages. Kind of when movies started moving into talkies, Italy didn't get on board. They just ADR'd them. So that's why all Italian movies, even if you're watching them in their original Italian, are why really
all those spaghetti westerns are like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they just don't record sound on set. And this has a very similar vibe to that. And also, like, everything's a little off. Even, like, the Foley stuff is a little off. It is
that
weird.
Crackle, or is that...
I don't know. I won't discount it, but, like, there's a couple of times where, like, he falls into the water and the splash is later.
Yeah, or you don't see him fall in the water. You see him fall, and then you see him in the water. Like, they couldn't get a guy falling in the water.
Oof.
Like, we can't do that. That's too much. Yeah.
Priority numero uno on this movie was make the fucking day.
Yeah.
That sun is going down, and I plan to be home whether we got it or not.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Hey, can we do another take? The camera's gone. That guy went home.
I don't think anyone in this production said, "Can we do another take?" At no point.
No.
If anything, they said, "Do we need this line?"
Yeah. What is the in the boat? There's one dude who's there's a nerdy guy, and then what appears to be a more jockish slob, a Romanian slob of a man.
I wrote down the line. The nerdy guy says to the jockish slob, "You're more interested in baseball and mullets than you are with the environment."
Boy, howdy. I believe the slob then says he's only interested in the babes. He only got into this for the babes.
No, he says, Uh, wait, wants to meet sexy eco chicks who don't shave their legs, is what he said.
Before falling into the water and killed by a crocodile.
Yes, gets his arm bitten off.
Right.
Which is kind of their go-to throughout this whole movie.
This happens a couple times. Does this happen to like a anyway? Oh
yes.
boy.
Oh, yeah, please save me.
In Aroostook County, Maine, that looks weirdly like a swamp in Bulgaria. Here's the thing. Like, I think like you maybe could have played Florida with this location. It does not look like Maine.
Bulgaria for when Vancouver is too expensive.
That's here. Lake Placid shot in Vancouver. This got downgraded to Bulgaria.
Yeah, I wonder if Bulgaria has ever doubled as Vancouver.
But like even like Vancouver, like you that could pass off Maine for sure. I'm sure X-Files, like, let's set this one in Maine. That'll be easy.
Literally, yeah, anywhere in the United States.
Yeah, right. But you know, you got Vancouver subs for Maine much better than it does Kansas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in the X-Files when they started filming in LA in season 6, suddenly Mulder and Scully had a lot more desert cases.
Crazy.
They were called to the desert way more.
Okay, so in Aroostook County, Maine, Frank reports this to the sheriff, James Riley, showing him Tillman's severed body parts. We missed some stuff here. We are introduced also to James Riley, of course, is our boy, John Schneider, who's doing
Johnny
something
K.
with his hair.
Yes, yeah.
It's a real beach bum kind of look. Doesn't look bad.
I got fired off of Smallville. Not fired. I got killed off of Smallville. I'm going to grow it out. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Right. We have a little bit of an interaction with his teenaged 35-year-old son.
Yeah. And no shade on this guy. I mean, I guess it is shade, but I'm not trying to hurt his feelings or anything. But he makes Tom Welling look like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes. The ADRing does not help. So once again, he is
he might not feel bad because he might not even be an actor. He might have just been a guy that they were like, "Hey, do you want to come to Bulgaria?"
Right. John Schneider, I will say, is not good in this. He's certainly phoning it in, but his phoning it in is a little better than some of the other phoning it in.
Oh yeah, no, I think other people, probably the amateur people, are trying really hard, and he's phoning it in, and he's still on a whole other level. Because he just got natural charisma, so he's just
that's exactly what it is. It's just sort of a natural, like, I do like it when he's on my screen.
Like, he is giving off the vibe the whole movie, like, I don't care if this line works or not. That's the vibe he's giving off.
Yes. Then we get like an autopsy scene is where we meet a lady. You can see kind of like the speed at which we are skipping things here in the who wrote a fucking plot summary for Lake Placid 2 on Wikipedia? But we meet a lady, a lady from a wildlife officer. She comes into this autopsy room where there's just a dead guy, and
isn't it just? It's just his arm, right?
Right. You got it, because he's missing. God.
Yes, they haven't found the body yet.
Right.
Wait, we forgot one line where just again, it feels like 2003, but it's really 2007.
Oh, right. I know exactly what you're...
The guy is like, there's a reporter who's like asking about the missing person. He's like, is it a serial killer or werewolf? Al-Qaeda jihad?
That's where I fully heard that line and went, well, you know, it was fucking 2003 and we were insane.
Nope.
And then you
Nope.
texted me, this is 2007, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Bush is almost out of office at that point. Al Qaeda jihad.
Jesus Christ. We learned John Schneider and wildlife officer Emma Warner kind of used to be a thing.
Sure.
Even though she's way too young for him.
Well, he does. There's the scene with him and his son. Just to backtrack real quick, there's a pretty girl playing with her dog, and Johnny Cage tells his son, like, you should go talk to her. And the son's like, why don't you go talk to her? And Johnny Cage's like, be careful what you wish for. And then he drives up in his truck and he starts talking to her. It is revealed later that he is just telling her to go talk to his son. But
James Frank and wildlife officer Emma Warner venture out onto the lake, where they find more of Tillman's remains. Meanwhile, three friends, Mike, Edie, and Sharon, are killed by a crocodile while swimming in the lake.
Wait. I'm sorry. I don't even know what this note was. This is before I knew it was 2007. Literally all the note says is, no, 2003, no!
Honestly, that should go on the DVD. So James, Emma, and Frank stop by the house of Sadie Bickerman. Sadie, an elderly hermit who has allegedly been feeding the crocodiles, to interrogate her about her missing sister, Dolores. Dolores is Betty White's character in Lake Placid.
Right. Literally, Betty White played this character in Lake Placid that was secretly feeding the alligators or crocodiles or whatever the hell they are. And then in this one, they're like, well, we can't get Betty White, so maybe she had a sister who does the exact same thing.
It's also, you could have just said it was still Betty White. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
I believe Lake Placid ends. I haven't seen it since we rented it from Blockbuster when it came out, so probably in 99 or 2000. But I remember it ending with Betty White feeding baby alligators.
Yes, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. And then she died, and her sister moved in and did the exact same thing.
Right.
It's basically that joke. Did you ever see the movie Beer Fest?
Yes, it's exactly that. Which this lady's in.
Oh shit!
This lady
in
is
Beer
the
Fest,
grandma.
one of the characters dies, and like at the midway point of the movie. But then his twin brother shows up, and he's like, "Don't worry, he told me literally everything about what's going on."
And then I believe is even like, to make me feel more comfortable, would you call me Launchpad? His brother's name.
Yes.
Honestly, it's so dumb. That might be one of my favorite movie jokes of all time.
I watched that movie in Vancouver at that theater we always went to.
Wow.
And that was like before school started. It was like the week I got there, and I was just like had nothing else to do, didn't know anybody, so I saw literally every movie that was playing. Okay, so I realized what I wrote no 2003 no about. So Johnny K, I'm just going to call him Johnny K.
Yeah, of course.
His lady friend and the two other people are on that boat looking for the body. And they find something, and she's like, I'm just going to dive in and see what it is.
Oh, right.
So she strips down to her undies, which is like lingerie, basically.
Black lacy, yeah.
Yeah, and jumps in. And it's so shameless. I mean, this is another thing that the Sci-Fi Channel movies were known for, right?
Right.
There was a demographic they were going for.
It's so funny of like, it's not even like that blatant of like a salacious shot that like it's worth doing. You could have just not done it, is the thing.
No, it's more just like a suggestion of, it's more like a nice thought.
Yeah, right.
It's like, pretend we did the lingerie shot and it's fine.
But Johnny K keeps the scientist guy keeps like looking, and Johnny K's like, turn around. Turn around. This fucking movie. Oh, this fucking movie. Okay, so they're interrogating not Betty White. She refuses to answer nor let them into the house. A poacher named Jack Struthers and his assistant Ahmad land their plane on the lake, hoping to kill the crocodiles after getting a tip from a local.
We skipped over the introduction of the most important character in the movie.
Oh, right. What's his fucking name? Thad.
Thad?
Thad.
We skipped over.
Hashtag Thad. We love Thad. Hashtag Halloween Thad. Hashtag the Thad time. Hashtag Brian, Zach, and Thad. Hashtag Thad for Lake Placid 6. Hashtag Lake Placid 7, Revenge of Thad.
Yeah, hashtag Thad is still alive.
Yes.
Fuck,
I love Thad.
Let's talk about Thad. So, Johnny K's son is interested in this local girl, and of course, he runs into her and in the forests with her dog, and he's talking to her. And suddenly, her boyfriend appears. He appears literally out of thin air.
Yes,
because you could see in all directions
out of the Bulgarian woods.
Just cut back
like
to her.
Mystic creature of lore.
The Thad.
The Thad of Lake Placid.
It's like they couldn't decide if they wanted this character to be a hick or a dude bro.
Right.
So they made him both. He pops up in a wife beater. Dude is not in shape.
No, you can tell he's kind of supposed. He has his shirt off later, and like you can tell he's kind of like supposed to be, but he's not. I'm gonna say, I mean, he looks better than I do. Let's be clear. I'm not like throwing shade on this guy by any. I would never do that to Thad, but it's like not quite what you imagine that is supposed to look like.
I mean,
a little bit of a gut, like.
He shows up and he's offering a fist bump to the Johnny K's son. That's like his opening, and I was like, yes, here we go. Let's go.
Bad time.
And then Johnny K's son mentions that he's the sheriff's son, and we get our first of, I think, at least 3 homophobic jokes.
2007.
Where Thad says, doesn't that gay ass have anything better to do than bust up all our parties? Now, we're not supposed to be rooting for Thad. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it still doesn't feel good.
No, Thad's better than that. I think Thad would learn from that if he had the chance. But he will. I'm sure he has, because Thad's still alive. Hero of the film Thad.
I wrote down, could they say whatever they wanted on this because they knew no one was watching?
We might be the only people in the world. Well, clearly it's us and whoever wrote this Wikipedia summary. I'll say John Schneider has not seen the film Lake Placid 2.
No, absolutely not. Not one
sometimes
frame of it.
Sometimes I don't know. You know, I like to question whether, not in a million years has John Schneider seen this movie.
If he saw any of it, he turned it off.
Definitely.
He was like, "Oh no, I don't want. Mm-mm. I don't want to remember that week in Bulgaria."
So then we meet Jack Struthers and Ahmad. Jack Struthers. I recognized, and I couldn't figure out where the fuck I recognized him from.
I know what he's from.
He's of course Chandler Bing's boss.
Yep. He's the one who slaps him on the ass.
Yes, on like 3 episodes of Friends.
So he shows up here, and he has an Irish accent. And I was like, oh, the actor must have been Irish. And I looked it up. No. He was born in New York City. That was a choice.
Oh, that made me sad.
Was he like I'm doing this movie. No one's gonna watch. Let's see if I can do an Irish accent. Like, I'm trying something. Or was that in the script? Was it like Irish?
No
This
way.
guy's Irish.
No way. No fucking way. Oh.
Or maybe they were like, he's like a South African hunter type, and he's like, I can't do that accent. I can do Irish though.
That's more plausible than. Oh, I'm sad now.
Uh,
Boy, howdy.
He's probably like the third or fourth best actor in the show.
I'd agree.
He's great as Chandler's boss.
He's
Speaking
great as
in
Chandler's
his native
boss.
American accent.
Okay, this next paragraph, I believe, is going to handle what they skipped previously. The sheriff's son, Scott Riley, wanders into the woods and appears to be stalked by an incoming crocodile. It turns out to be Daisy, the pet dog of Carrie. Scott then meets Carrie and her boyfriend, Thad. Hashtag Thad time. Daisy barks at something moving in the lake, but Carrie sees nothing. Sadie talks with a photographer at a boat dock before going back to her cabin, and the photographer is killed purposely, is what the Wikipedia says, by a crocodile while taking pictures.
Oh, like she meant to kill him, I think is what they're saying.
Got it. Okay.
She does come back out and go, where'd he go? Maybe he wasn't hungry.
Right. Okay, got it. I understand. I'm just an idiot. That was pretty clear. But
No. That was poorly worded by the wiki. Do not stand up for the wiki.
We barely have a show without these brave wiki writers, Zach.
Well, we barely have a show without the brave Smallville wiki writers, not this person.
That's true.
Although, chances are pretty good. Some John Schneider fan from Smallville.
That's true.
Or maybe it's a Dukes of Hazzard person.
That's true. That checks out. Riding the boat again, James, of course, is Johnny K, suddenly slows down, knocking Frank into the lake. But James and Emma bring him back on board to safety. When a crocodile appears, which, we have not yet discussed, Zach, the CGI on this crocodile.
Well, it's half CGI.
Right.
I'm using quote fingers, and it's half completely stationary rubber crocodile.
Just
that doesn't move whatsoever.
And in either scenario, either the quote unquote CGI crocodile or the completely stationary, it doesn't even count as a puppet. It is
no. It's just a rubber crocodile
versus a rubber crocodile. The answer, the correct choice would have been no crocodile.
Right. Yes, I texted you that we're at 50 years after Jaws, and still no one has heeded Spielberg's "Don't show the shark" fucking advice. And now, obviously, they didn't have the room to be too creative here, but
that would require clever filmmaking.
Right? Yeah. This is another reason I couldn't believe it was 2007, because this CGI crocodile looks like worse than PlayStation 1 cutscene stuff. I mean,
I've worked for websites with like large video departments, where we were making short videos with some like budget, not big, and like not super experienced people. They worked across, and like I feel like this is the kind of thing where at a website I worked at, if I had gone to the video team and was like, hey, can you put a crocodile in this video? This would be like their first draft.
They whipped it up in 20 minutes.
That's exactly, it's just like, yeah, I can put a crocodile in this. Okay, great. Hey, yeah, that's perfectly fine for this 2-minute YouTube video where like a crocodile comes in.
Right. Oh, it's bad, Brian.
It's by all standards bad.
I mean, I have a newfound appreciation for the effects in Smallville.
That's the other. That's also what I was thinking of. Like Smallville looks great compared, and Smallville actually frequently they have some clever little stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. But no, even the worst stuff on Smallville looks light years better than what's going on here.
This is nightmarish. It's insane.
This is like, yeah, it's like a bit on Conan where they have like something pop up. Like
Exactly.
Clearly they made it in a day. It's bad.
It's bad.
Real bad.
It's
bad.
It's hard to like. You don't watch this movie, but like definitely Google up this fucking crocodile. It is.
Yeah. Lake Placid 2 crocodile. Just type that. I'm sure it'll pop up.
I was talking about the movie in the Discord though, and I did post a picture of the crocodile behind Thad. And our good friend Arizona, just in all caps, like, that's a big gator. 10 out of 10. And it is, to be fair, a big gator.
But that's a sad moment in the movie. That's right before we lose Thad. But we'll get to that.
Right. Man, flipping to the Discord, I miss chat.
I do too. We got to do a live one soon.
We got to do a live one. So I got yelled at on Twitter the other day for, it's been 2 months.
Good, yeah.
I've been busy. Yeah, it's
true. You have a life and a pregnant wife and all sorts of shit.
We're still putting the show out.
Yeah. We will go live again. I feel like for season finale, we should probably go live.
Definitely. We probably will.
That's like that's 2 episodes away. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So when the crocodile appears, James draws his gun, but the crocodile dives under to knock the 3 off the boat. The boat is demolished, and all 3 get to land unharmed. The 3 meet Struthers and Ahmad, who flew a plane to distract the crocodile. We've hit a point where kind of in the movie where we hit real big time slog territory. We're not at the true crunch point yet, but like we kind of just, the crocodile appears. We get away from the crocodile. Like the bits aren't really escalating. We kind of like, we could just cut all of these and go to the end now if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Nothing will escalate.
I'm trying to figure out, because the wiki's jumping around. I don't want to miss anything because This is really important to the world. Okay, so we haven't gotten there. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, sorry, keep going. We still have a few scenes of that, and so we still have some joy left in this.
Right. Let's see here. The next scene shows Rachel and Larry. Rachel is a pretty standard airhead.
Right.
Who
airhead hot girl.
Airhead hot girl. I told you to wear appropriate shoes. You're wearing like heels. I'm like, these are appropriate for fall. Or summer.
And the guy's like, want me to give you a foot rub or something? And she says, I wouldn't let you rub my feet even if you were the CEO of Prada.
That's Larry. And Larry is disgusting.
Well, so we open first. We start this scene. They're on the beach. It's 4 people hanging out on the beach,
right?
And they have, like, what would you call it? Like public domain Linkin Park knockoff.
That's exactly what that is. It's the worst needle drop I've ever heard.
It's not it can't be a real song.
No, definitely not. No. No.
They spent about as much time on that song as they did on the crocodile effect. There's a lot of male gaze in this scene. A lot of homophobia. There's a line. Someone says something about pitching the tent, and then one of the guys says, Larry's already pitching a tent. And then she says, I can tell by the way you guys are wrestling, because they're out there wrestling in the water. So not great.
This just popped in my head. Do you watch Bob's Burgers at all?
No.
There is a character named Zeke in Bob's Burgers. This is just for people who do watch Bob's Burgers. There is a side character named Zeke. He's friends with the kids. Larry from Lake Placid 2 is Zeke. That's who you can imagine.
Okay, now I gotta go. Tonight I'm gonna be watching clips of Zeke.
Okay, Rachel and Larry, along with Scott, Carrie, and Thad, venture into the woods to another part of the lake. With the sheriff's team, Deputy Dale Davis comes in to unload the boat while the crew sets up a tent for overnight camping. They see a wild... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
They see a wild boar trapped in a rope net and feed it to the crocodile, which is a wild way to phrase that. They have a kind of like I like this. It was burning a hole in my brain, and I was having trouble putting sequential images together by this point in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where like you stop paying attention to it for like half a minute, like go into the alt tab, and then you're like, wait, what's going on? I don't fucking care.
Yeah. I actually had to rewatch this part. So they were using a tortoise to lure it, and then I think another animal came and got caught in the trap, and then the crocodile shows up and eats that animal.
Right. The crew neutralizes the crocodile with their guns, and Dale ties the mouth with a rope. They Oh, there's one thing. There's one thing I forgot from earlier when the crocodile first appears for the first time. It is framed with Emma, the character Emma. She is like taking up most of the right side of the frame. The left side of the frame is the lake. And coming up behind her is the crocodile as the two other people in the boat look out. And it is, she doesn't say it's behind me, isn't it? But like it is that shot. Like it was a long shot too. It's alligator coming from, and I'm half waiting for her to go, it's behind me, isn't it?
So when this guy Dale goes in to tie the rope around the knocked out alligator or crocodile, first the lady is going to go in, and then he says, "This here's man's work, sweetheart." Right. And I was like, okay, this guy's dead.
Right.
For
yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah. He gets his arm bitten off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was not clear on what happens to the other guy, the kind of dweeby guy.
Right.
He seems to jump back. He doesn't get hit. He like falls backwards into a tree and dies.
Not clear. I don't know.
Like his back hits a tree, and then the next time we cut to him, he's bleeding out of the nose and mouth.
He's a nerd. It shattered him.
But why did he jump backwards?
Because of the alligator.
Oh.
Because of the alligator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have here the crew neutralizes the crocodile with their guns, and Dale ties the mouth with a rope, but the crocodile easily breaks free, severs Dale's arm, and devours him. Frank dies from a fall, and the others move on.
Yeah, no one calls any help. They're like, we'll just keep camping.
Repeatedly over the course of this film, people will die, and it will just be like, welp, time to move on.
You're the sheriff.
I also, before I forget, I do want to, because we haven't lost Thad yet, thankfully. There have also been a couple of lines. There was one earlier when they first meet, but Thad, I believe, says, "Hey, can I put some beers in your bag, or will your dad arrest me?" All of these people look 30.
Yeah, at least.
The idea that they cannot legally drink is hilarious.
Oh yeah, they're not even. Oh yeah, she's talking about going to college.
Oh right,
the one chick. Yeah.
Oh right.
Oh man.
They all are very old, which of course there's no children cast in this movie. Of course not. But and everyone who on all the 20-somethings who look young got cast in things that weren't Lake Placid 2.
Well, the 20-somethings were playing middle schoolers.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, meanwhile, Rachel is killed by the crocodile who drags her into the lake. This scene's crazy.
We're totally just smoothing over so many things.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, before this, what's the son's name? Johnny K's son?
Oh God.
Whatever.
Son.
He goes into the forest. I'm not sure why.
Mhm.
Some reason. And then it's supposed to be that he trips and falls down a hill, down into like a little creek, and then he stumbles upon the crocodile's den.
Right.
But he's standing there, stationary. He's standing still, and then he goes, "Whoa!" and then just falls. He doesn't trip. He just falls over, and then it's not a hill. It's just like he falls. He's like, "Whoa! Oh! Whoa!" and it's like an incline of like 2 degrees or something. It's not even.
It's
You
one
know,
of
the
those
script
things of
said-
like, does this make sense? Who the fuck cares?
The script says, "I'm sure he trips and falls down a hill," and
Right.
they're like, "We don't have a hill.
Right.
We can't do a tripping stunt. So just just fall out of frame."
Location Scout was like sent to find a hill. Like, I got this. It's like, that's not really a hill. You want me to keep looking? No.
No, they were like, the creek's right here.
Yeah. Right.
So
I did.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I did click on Chad Michael Collins' Wikipedia page. He plays Scott Riley in this film, The Son. We do have here. I don't want to make fun of anybody's career too bad here, but it's a podcast. That's what we're here to do. He's best known.
This guy's been in more movies than we have.
That is entirely the case. He's best known for his works in the Sniper film series, and I believe he's done some voices in the Call of Duty games. When he is not acting, he works at a PR firm.
Oh, hey, all right.
Which, hey,
Good for him.
we all need day jobs.
Absolutely. So when he's in the forest there, he hears a noise and he turns and like looks over, and it's like a rabbit, but it's clearly someone's indoor rabbit. It's not like a rabbit you would find in nature.
Right.
Just,
God, I didn't think of that. That's so fucking funny.
so, okay. This scene where Rachel gets killed and Larry is in the water. And then he comes onto the beach. I think it's we don't see it, but Rachel is taking her top off.
Right.
To tan. And he says he's very worried that they're going to get sunburned, her breasts.
Right.
So she says, don't be so American. All the beaches in Europe are topless. And says, dude, we are so going there. And then Larry lays down on the beach blanket and like looks right at Rachel and says, I'm going to make sure my little monkeys there don't get toasty.
I don't know what that means.
Has anyone ever called breasts monkeys before? My
Is
little
that
monkeys?
what he's fucking called?
Yes. He doesn't want her breasts to get sunburned, so he says, I'm going to make sure my little monkeys don't get toasty.
My little No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Play the tape, Brian. Play the tape.
I know. I remember him saying that. That clearly can't. I guess in full. I don't know what the fuck. No. I'm so upset. I'm typing into Google "my little monkeys."
That's gonna get some.
I
weird
know.
results.
Monkeys as breasts. I slang for breasts is what I'm putting into Google right now. And I have here in the collinsdictionary.com, I have typed in breast synonyms. No. Okay.
I thought you were gonna list them all.
I was going to.
Cooler heads prevailed.
There is no monkey on here on a list of slang
No.
for breast.
My little monkeys.
Okay. On BuzzFeed.com, I have 99 things to call your boobs. And I'm just going to Control F. I typed in the word monkey on this list. In 99 things to call your boobs, monkeys has not come up.
My little monkeys, Brian.
Hyundai Tucson.
It literally makes me feel disgusting when you say no.
Okay. Okay, so then we cut to Thad and whatever the love interest's name is, they go into the forest and they find Johnny K's son, and he's like telling them about he basically found eggs in this nest, and he's like, I've never seen anything like it before. And Thad goes, what is it? Girls' panties?
That's a good burn, actually, though.
The next line, Johnny K's son, for some reason, throws shade at comedian Jeff Foxworthy. He goes, funny stuff. You could open up for Jeff Foxworthy. And then Thad goes, I wish. That guy's hilarious.
What did Jeff Foxworthy do to these fucking...
These writers. You should not be throwing shade at any other creative professional. They're like, fuck, I finally got a platform. I'm coming for you, Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy, I did find hosted a game show called The American Bible Challenge. It's from 2012. It lasted 3 seasons. And it is a Bible-themed game show hosted by Jeff Foxworthy. And did I get stoned and watch a lot of it on Netflix? You bet I did.
That's what I would have guessed.
Okay, where are we? So when Rachel gets killed by the crocodile, I believe she at first accuses Larry for coming after her feet again.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She's like, you pervert.
And then we cut to Larry, and the water's like, that's not me! Rather than run.
Yeah, run. Yeah.
Or crocodile.
I don't think I could ever mistake a giant crocodile touching my feet for a human touching my feet.
I also, what was this thing got... all the way to, at no point, Larry, I'm really bothered by Larry. That's not me!
Oh, goodness.
Rachel's killed by the crocodile, who drags her into the lake while Larry manages to escape. Also, it's Rachel gets dragged under the water, then we just see blood rising up. It's not a good effect, but it's one of the better ones.
I was going to say, it's one of the best ones in this, episode, this movie, this cinema.
The bar is low. We're grading on a curve, but that was the best one. Okay. The other 3 of the younger group find eggs in the woods. Thad breaks some eggs and is killed by a crocodile.
Oh, they just say it in one sentence like that, like it's meaningless.
like you think you could just say Thad time is over?
Yeah, like Thad isn't really important.
Thad isn't the fucking linchpin that holds this fucking masterpiece together. We love Thad.
So
what if our first piece of merch isn't Smallville related and it's just Thad's fucking face?
No, he's gotta have the whole body. Gotta get the white tank in there.
You can't deprive the world of that whole body.
So before he dies, he's about to get into it with Johnny K's son, and Thad says this line: "Don't start something you can't finish. It'll be your darkest hour."
Thad.
I don't understand what that line was supposed to sound like. Was it supposed to sound stupid?
I don't know. My question is now, can we get Thad on Smallville? Can Thad just port over to Smallville?
Or on the Talon mix, just as Thad, though.
Yes.
Get that guy on the Talon mix as Thad. He's like 50 now.
Oh, boy.
No one will know but us.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Am I on his Insta? So, okay. So here's the thing. He is, I believe, has made a decent career for himself playing, I don't know what this show is, the adult on a children's show.
Oh, okay, great.
You know, like the parent of or a teacher of. His Instagram, of which he does have 30,000 followers and is verified.
What's the show?
Sydney to the Max. It looks like a Disney Channel or Nickelodeon sitcom.
Yeah.
And he appears to be an adult on it. So he might be, unfortunately, out of our league.
What is he looking like these days? He's still looking good?
He looks, you don't lose the Thad. You can take the Thad out of Maine, Bulgaria, out of Bulgaria, Maine.
I didn't think Thad was gonna, outprice us. What's the word? I didn't think Thad was gonna be out of reach for us.
Can we get a Thad cameo?
If we said that to him, he would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
He wouldn't know. I did.
Oh wow, he hasn't aged a day.
No,
he actually looks younger.
Yeah. I don't know how to search cameo.
That's crazy.
I'm searching cameo right now. What's the over under on him being here?
Well, if that kids show is big, that could be a good birthday thing for some kid.
Who wants the adult from that?
That's true. I haven't seen the show. Maybe he's a cool adult. Brian.
Maybe. He does not appear to be on Cameo. Ian Reed Kessler, no cameo, unfortunately. So if you're on Cameo,
one of us will just have to be Thad one day.
Ian Somerhalder is, though.
Wait, can we get him on as Thad?
Can we get Ian Somerhalder on as Thad? There we go. Thad time, baby.
I mean, or he could be whatever character. I already forgot what his fucking character's name was on Smallville.
Maybe Boone from Lost.
Yeah.
Listen, the point is, I want someone to become if they're a big enough name, they can just become a co-host. They can just permanently become a co-host of the Talon Mix, but they have to play a character that they played on a different thing so that we can become a part of that universe.
Oh my god, that's brilliant! Yeah, yep. I mean, if we can't get Thad though, that's kind of a pipe dream.
I understand, but how do we get Richard Belzer to come on as Munch?
from yeah, because then we're in the X-Files.
Then we're in the X-Files.
And we're in Law and Order.
And The Simpsons. And Arrested Development.
Oh shit! Wait, there's another one. Homicide. He was in
Homicide. That's where he originated. If Munch is the key to all of it. The entire television multiverse hinges on Munch.
Wait, so we got to get him on before he kicks it.
Seriously.
And he has to be Munch, obviously.
He has to come on as Detective Munch. Which
I feel like that would fit in more with Brian and Eric don't belong here than the Talon Mix.
I don't care. I want it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, how do we write it in? He's just on here to talk about Smallville. He loves the show. Munch is a fan.
Detective Munch, yes, is a big Smallville. God, that gets us on 30 Rock.
He was on 30 Rock.
I'm telling you, he's the key to everything. So
But we've been talking about these shows, Brian.
We-
So now it's like we know about the shows.
and then it all implodes. We are what caused the end of the television multiverse, and it can all start again.
Oh,
We
yes.
get Richard
Oh, yeah.
Belzer to play Munch to play Thad.
Whoa. We're a few levels deep in the Inception right now, and
It's all right. I know I'm too big of a dreamer. All right, we got to finish this fucking movie.
We're almost to the end of my notes, and we're like halfway through the movie.
We're towards the end of this fucking summary.
Good.
There is nothing left here. It's the person writing the Wikipedia summary also got sick of this shit. Okay. The other three of the younger group find eggs in the woods. Thad breaks some eggs and is killed by the crocodile. R.I.P. Thad, forever in our hearts. Hashtag Lake Placid 7, the return of Thad. Give it to me. The sheriff's group feed a boar carcass to one crocodile, but a harpoon arrow accidentally damages Struthers' plane. This is insane.
I could not understand the logic or the physics of what was going on. Like I didn't. His plan was to swoop down and shoot it while flying the plane.
To which Struthers is like, I get the kill shot. To which his assistant, his buddy, who he came with, is like, no, it's coming now. I'm gonna handle this. I get the kill shot. And then suddenly, in between the alligator and the boat where Johnny K and Ahmad are with the harpoon gun that would be effective in killing a giant crocodile, the plane swoops down. I get the kill shot, where he does not perform the kill shot. Instead, the harpoon hits the what's, I don't know what the bottom like ski of the plane is.
Yeah, the landing, whatever.
Right. It hits that, and then starts the rope from the harpoon starts going because the plane's still flying. And which I'm laughing my ass off at this point. And then Johnny K and Ahmad have to jump in through the water because everything blows up.
The boat is yanked by the
Right.
chain. Oh, it might. Does it blow up or flip? Something happens.
I believe the skis, that part of the plane is called, the plane can land on water with, get ripped from the plane. Yes. Anyway, it was fucking dumb. James and Ahmad abandon the boat, and Struthers is thrown off the plane, but Ahmad neutralizes the crocodile.
This is the part I was talking about. So they have a bad effect of him, Struthers or whatever his name is, falling off the plane, and then it just cuts to him splashing in the water. Like, I don't think they cut away to another thing happening. It's just like, oh no, we just jump forward in time. He's in the water.
Don't fucking worry about it. Yeah. Thunderstorms strike during the night, forcing the crew to their tents. Scott and Carrie are stranded in the woods until they find a horrified Larry. The sheriff's crew is fast asleep in their tents until the crocodile attacks and kills Ahmad.
R.I.P.
All right, we're almost out of here. We're almost done.
Oh, there's another homophobic line where Johnny K asks him, "How long you and Ahmad been married?" Because they were bickering.
Right.
And then there is a great dig at Baltimore. This writer's got an axe to grind because he's like, he has others say to Ahmad, "We've been in a hell of a lot worse places than this. Remember those hammerheads down in Ecuador, or those snake heads in what was that place? What was that miserable place? Baltimore."
Fuck this movie. It was written by Todd Hurwitz and Howie Miller. Which did
what
this
else
get
did they
two?
Do?
Neither of them have Wikipedia articles.
Oh no.
Let's see. Todd Hurwitz, writer. I'm on his IMDb here. We've got a Nickelodeon show called The Substitute that lasted from 2019 to 2021. How to Olympics, Fuzzballs, Design Twins, Summer. Looks like a lot of TV series.
Great. Really well-known ones.
Yeah, right. All right, I'm going to power through this next paragraph.
Yeah, please do.
The next morning, Scott, Carrie, and Larry climb a tree to avoid a crocodile, but Larry falls from the tree and is killed. I could tell Larry was only joining back up with them to be killed.
Yes.
James finds the 2 surviving teenagers and kills the crocodile with a grenade launcher. So this is where a teenager has just been killed. Their friend has just been killed. And this seems like a good time for Johnny K to go, after a while, crocodile.
That's the end.
Got it. Okay.
He blows up another one at the end.
Got it. Oh, there's more.
Yeah. It took me a minute to be like, what is he talking about? Is that a saying? And I was like, oh, it's the second half of See You Later, Alligator.
Right.
After a while, crocodile. They wanted to say "See you later, alligator," but it's not an alligator; it's a crocodile.
Right.
So they couldn't do it.
Anyway, sorry that I ruined that very incredible moment in this film.
Oh, I mean, but the best part about that moment is the one you ruined. Is he gets another punchline before that,
right?
Or
he's all jokes. This guy.
He says, "Like get out of the way" or something. He says, I'm going to blow this thing right into the middle of next week.
right. Okay.
Which is like a 7-year-old came up with that.
Right.
That's the best you got? Take it again.
Okay, so Johnny K kills the crocodile with a grenade launcher. Sadie lets the teenagers inside of her house for safety until she tricks them into entering the lake and is then devoured by a crocodile herself. I think I was in another tab that entire scene. I just didn't see what happened.
Yeah.
The police battles one crocodile, and Emma kills it by punching it in its mouth with a jackknife. Struthers hangs up by... So then they kill that crocodile. Johnny K and Emma make out. Which doesn't seem
As
like...
you do. As you do when you kill a crocodile.
And Struthers, who's hanging upside down, is like, hey, nice.
I'm Irish.
I'm Irish. I'm Chandler Bing's boss. And then he's eaten by a crocodile. We see his head go flying like towards the screen.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a big reveal that there's more crocodiles, I guess.
Right.
There's a bunch of them.
Okay, so James kills this crocodile with multiple explosive substances that destroys the crocodile's nest. That's where we get, after a while, crocodile. Which... I can't tell if John Schneider is like having fun with or is just like, fuck this.
He's like, whatever, I'm going to go to the bar when we're done shooting.
Right.
And then I'm going to go back to my hotel and then fall asleep.
At the end, Scott and Carrie kiss while James and Emma leave the lake together. It is revealed that Emma took the crocodile's eggs from the nest earlier and sends them to a scientific lab. Which is not quite how I would describe the ending.
Oh, no. We skipped over some stuff. But the one important thing is in their final scene together, Johnny K's son and the love interest are talking. And she's like, I can't wait to go to, Boston or City College or whatever in Boston. And she says, or no, and then the boyfriend or the guy says, not too many crocodiles on those streets, mostly just drugs. And then he goes, but don't worry, they won't bite. It's like, America has a drug problem.
Also, our friend just died.
Yeah.
All of our friends are dead.
Her boyfriend.
Thad. Not a thought in the world for Thad.
But there's a lot of drugs in Boston.
Has she met Thad's parents? Like, is this like...
Yeah, how serious was the thing with that? Because...
It's like, are you going to go to the funeral? Are you going to bring your new boyfriend to the funeral?
She doesn't like Thad for any time in this movie.
No. So maybe it's a few.
it feels like this has to be the end of the relationship before he dies even, right? So I feel like this has been a long-term thing. Like they're in high school, they got together.
Oh, right, they're in
You have
high
to remember.
school.
You have to remember they're in high school.
They're
They got
in high
together in middle
school.
school when he was the coolest kid around. And then he's grown into a piece of shit and she just
And still the coolest kid around.
Yeah.
It's that, remember.
He knows he offers fist bumps, you know.
And then Johnny K and Emma, it ends with them like agreeing to go on another date, but Johnny K's not to bring up ex-wives or crocodiles. And then they shake on it as they drive into the distance with alligators in there. Why not just okay? We setting up a sequel here?
You know, and this was, I mean, there are more.
There are more.
This is when the crackle starting next popped up.
Right.
I wish that it had it like it would have felt more right if it was the old Sci-Fi Channel where like the screen splits and like does an angle, and then it's like on the next Battlestar Galactica.
100%. 100%. Let's see. The movie has it's received, guess what? Generally negative reviews. Citing, and I've saw this, I checked the Rotten Tomatoes where it has an 11%. A lot of the complaints seem to bring up, Zach, are you ready for this? It's unoriginal plot. That's your fucking complaint about this movie?
That's
like, we're well past that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit of a Jaws pastiche? Like, that's where we're like... That's to get to. We're not on plot for this movie.
I'm sick of these derivative movies, Brian.
We have to improve so many things before I'm ready to criticize the plot of this movie. Oh, we'll get to the plot. Oh, what happens in the movie? We are not. No.
No, at no point during I was not like, this doesn't make sense plot wise. Because there was too much other shit going on that I had to pay attention to.
You want to talk about the script?
Yeah. That's like if the school bus is on fire and you want to change a flat tire.
That's exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do, a Blu-ray, an unrated Blu-ray was released in 2011. I assume that's what we saw.
Yeah, we saw the longer one probably.
What I did want to do, I'm stealing this from the How Did This Get Made podcast, but I always really like it. I have here 5-star reviews of this film on Amazon. And I thought maybe I haven't read these. I haven't prepared this. I'm just going to cold look through these. One thing I have here is 5 stars. If you've seen Lake Placid, then you already know what to expect in the second film. Cheesy goodness all around.
No, I'm sorry. It's not the same as Lake Placid, a Hollywood production by professionals. That is not the same.
A 5-star review here that says lunchtime. Lake Placid. This I think might be mistakenly for the first film, because they say Lake Placid is very exciting and has plenty of thrills with ups and downs. Wanting to have lunch, who can blame him? The suspense is gripping with edge-of-your-seat entertainment that you expect from a crocodile that lays in wait for its next victim. No, that can't be. This can't be. This.
How many 5-star reviews are there for Lake Placid 2?
It is 74% of the reviews. There's a lot of bits.
It's all ironic.
There's a lot of bits. Let's see. There was my favorite movie from the series when I was younger. Yeah, I guess there is
Arizona. Did Arizona write that? How young is this person?
We got okay movie, good sequel to the original, 5 stars.
That's the kind of like star rating you give if you know the people involved. Like,
Right.
it was okay. It's 5 stars.
Lake Placid 2, 5 stars. Not quite as good as the original Lake Placid, but for a follow-up movie, this is also great. I'm a big fan of John Schneider, and he did great in the movie, but too bad Betty White was not in it.
Roger Ebert?
Yeah. Okay, I guess. 5 stars from Van. Grab your girl and get your gun. I always enjoy movies with John Schneider. A bit campy. Hate seeing pretty girls get chomped. 5
Thad
stars.
wrote that review.
There we go. We found Thad. He's alive.
Thad is alive. He faked his own death.
But I guess that's everything. Lake Placid 2, starring John Schneider. And I guess that's it for our Halloween Spooktacular this year. What are we going to do next year? Or sorry.
I don't think we're ever going to run out because we can always go into like smaller characters in Smallville and their horror movie. Like Margot Kidder is in Smallville and she was in Black Christmas. You know, we could like actually watch good stuff too.
That's true. That's incredibly true. Maybe I think next year we owe it to ourselves a good one. or like a not terrible one. Like Urban Legend would be like Urban Legends is a good one with Michael Rosenbaum. Yeah,
because that also fits in with the era kind of we're going for too.
Definitely something we can make fun of, but like we've earned it.
Yes. I thought Lake Placid 2 was going to be our sort of reprieve from.
In the first half, I was like, this is watchable.
We enjoyed talking about it way more than we enjoyed talking about The Fog.
Yes.
The Fog was like Club Zero. Which
the
no
Fog,
one else
there's
knows
nothing.
what that
There's
means,
nothing
but
to
it was
talk about in The Fog. It's a nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing.
No.
But all right, Zach, I guess we should get on out of here because we have nothing left to talk about. That said, if you like watching scary movies, like Lake Placid 2, I'm going to be watching a whole bunch of them this weekend, Halloween weekend, 10:29 to 10:30 at twitch.tv/Goblin Voice, normally where we live stream this show. I'm going to be watching 24 hours of scary movies. We'll be syncing them up on Scener. Some guests will be joining us, I believe, including Mr. Zach Rowe.
Absolutely, when I get home from work.
Wonderful. We're going to try to raise a little money for Food Bank for NYC, and I will be very tired. Like, I've been up for about 14 hours right now, and I'm pretty sleepy. So this is going to be, I'm going to be filled with regrets. We're not just doing movies. I'm going to do some Are You Afraid of the Dark? Maybe some classic cartoons. I have to get some Count Chocula and do a whole Saturday morning, like, or rather Sunday morning, I guess, cartoon series. But that's going to be 24 hours this weekend, twitch.tv/Goblin Voice. There ain't going to be a video later to watch. It's just live. Be there live or don't. Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods? Or the Lake Placid 2 gods?
Will Thad return again?
Good night, everybody. Fuck that movie.